City of Stevens Point Common Council meeting, recorded October 18, 2021.
At 7 o'clock, we will call the regular council meeting to order. We have Dalton currently excused, but would be hopefully joining us later. And Alder Fischler is also excused, but the clerk will call the roll.
Christensen.
Here.
Shore.
Here.
Keemer.
Here.
Zarazua.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Slawinski.
He's online.
He says he's trying to connect to audio. We will mark him as present.
Kneebone.
Here.
Leek.
Here.
Dalton is excused at this time. Fischler excused. Morrow.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum, so we will continue. If you would please join me standing for our salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We do not have a presentation this evening. However, I want to remind everyone that this week is National Free Speech Week, and we're going to recognize that hopefully tomorrow. There's a new business council executive director who started today. We're going to have him doing a presentation next month for council as kind of an introduction. And we will leave it at that. Item number 4, let's go to 3 first. Persons who wish to address the mayor and council on a specific agenda item other than a public hearing should register their request at this time. Those who wish to address the common council during a public hearing are not required to identify themselves until the public hearing is declared open by the mayor. And anybody who wishes to sign up for an agenda item to speak should fill out one of these sheets. If you haven't and you wish to speak on an agenda item, raise your hand now and we'll get one to you. Okay, seeing no one else wishing to sign up, we will then move on to item number 4, which is persons who wish to address the mayor and council for up to 3 minutes on a non-agenda item. First one up is David Iden. I ask that you approach the lectern, identify yourself, and you will have 3 minutes, sir.
My name is David Iden. My address is 1008 Matilda Street here in Stevens Point. In reference to Melissa Johnson's letter in the paper, I guess I had some questions and obviously some concerns also. She had mentioned that this is going to be the least cost-effective means of correcting this road. And I'm just wondering if there were any other means investigated, or was this the only one that she saw fit to bring forth?
Mr. Iden, we don't have an exchange format here, so I would urge you to contact President Johnson after the meeting if you'd like, and she can answer the questions for you.
Okay. Well, like I said, I do question the fact that it seems to be fairly one-sided in your letter. The fact that this is what we are going to do, this is the most cost-effective means, and it brings more questions to light than answers given here, because I get the feeling that the board has an idea on just what they want to put forth here, and I don't know if they've even contacted constituents or heard from constituents, which I seem to think there's quite a number of constituents out there who have concerns with the plan going forward. And personally would like to see it come to a referendum to see what the city townsfolk really want to see for that road. Because I mentioned in the past, I have concerns with this. Safety is a primary concern of mine in regards to this, especially with the bicycles and with some of the new bike lanes we already have here. I feel that's a huge safety issue. And I wouldn't ride those lanes on the road, or would I recommend my children ride those lanes on the road, simply because I don't think they're safe when you divert the bike lane between 2 moving lanes of traffic, given the intersections that have a right turn only lane and a forward lane. So I'm just reiterating that again, because I did speak in the past and I have some grave concerns there. We have much traffic on that road. Nobody's going to convince me that traffic will run just as smoothly at 2 lanes for vehicular traffic. And then what do we want to do? Redirect semi-traffic? Do we want our economy in the city to go away completely? And reminding you that this is a big part of our tax base also, our economy. So with that said, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Eden. You can also contact Scott Badoon, who's our Director of Public Works, and he can give you some answers too if you like.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Keith Kudrowski.
Good evening, Keith Kudrowski, 1536 Water Street. Thank you very much for, again, also some questions about the letter. 3-lane option, 45 mil most likely qualified, doesn't sound like it for sure. 4-lane option, probably not, doesn't sound like it for sure either way either. So a lot of hedging, a lot of fudging. A lot of no real answers. Saw a lot of pictures online this morning. Traffic on that road with 2 lanes each way, just backed up. Seriously. AECOM, dealt with them for years, supported them when I lived out east. They're a government leech. They live to suck off government taxpayer money. That's who you pick. Did we look at anybody else? That's a question I have also. Was this a one-horse rodeo? Did you pick them individually? Did you do it based on your financial records? Wow, if you're managing my money, wow, not saying mine's perfect, but you're gonna tell us how to spend money. Yeah, you know how to spend it. You got our pocket to get it. You gotta think a little better. You better referendum this, because these people in this town, that traffic circle at 4th Street, if you think that ain't gonna be the biggest circus in the world, 1 lane with a potential, the idea of a traffic circle is traffic to keep moving. You're gonna try to get pedestrians to walk through there? That's gonna work? Who are you kidding? I don't know what planet you came from. That is not even close to an option. It is not gonna work. It is not. So anyhow, consider referendum. Let the people really be heard. There was 5 hours worth of it last time. I've not heard any of these surveys show where there was glaring support for this effort or lack of effort. Like I said, one company, AECOM, easily 80% of their money is generated by spending government money. They have no will to save any government money. They got a free pocket. They did it at the federal level when I lived out in DC. Just a cesspool of stealing money from the government, the taxpayer, which you don't care about. You're just another government leech, just like AECOM is to the government. So anyhow, consider referendum something, not just shoving this down people's throat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Fred Kilcoffin.
Fred Kelkoven, I've been a resident of Stevens Point all my life, live on 910 Ridge Road. Mr. Mayor and Council, I'm disgusted with the city the way it's going. It's just, people are not listening. By the council, we're treated like we're servants, and you do whatever you want. You did Stanley Street, failure. Did Michigan Avenue, failure. Now you're working on Church. How are the fire trucks gonna operate? I don't wanna repeat everything that was said. There's been some good ideas here, but right now, I'm disgusted with Stevens Point. It's going backwards. Not everyone is bad, but some of these things, we're just going the wrong way. I sympathize with these businesses on Church Street. I don't think 10% of the people sitting back here have business experience. These guys, there's a lot to running a business. They're working hard, you're getting in their pockets, and it's getting worse. Stevens Point needs a lot of help. I'm not gonna talk any longer, but I never came to these council meetings till about 6 months ago, but I'm concerned about things. We're going backwards, real fast. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Sorry you feel that way. That exhausts item number 4. Item number 5 is our consent agenda. President Johnson, I believe you have an item to pull.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that. I would like to pull from the minutes and actions of the Plan Commission meeting, item 10, and I believe that's for a driveway, driveway for Darren Miller,
Thank you.
who is here this evening.
Does any other alderpersons wish to pull any other items from the consent agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Tomorrow, I move to approve the consent agenda except for the items that President Johnson pulled, please.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Shore. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor roll call.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slawinski.
Aye.
Nevon.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton is excused. Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
Unanimous consent, that is approved. Item number, what we call is 10 from the Plan Commission Minutes and Actions of October 4th, 2021, was a request from Darren Miller for an exception to driveway requirements at 1910 Monroe Street with the parcel identified. Director Konoski, could you refamiliarize everyone with the request and staff's recommendation?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is a request from Darren Miller for an exception to the driveway requirements for his property at 1910 Monroe Street. Mr. Miller had previously installed a driveway without the proper zoning permit, and the driveway was installed not consistent with city zoning code. And so a notice was provided to Mr. Miller. He was given the options to remove the driveway, to have it installed to meet city zoning codes, or to approach the Plan Commission and the Common Council to be granted essentially an exception to the driveway requirements. There are 3 standards for meeting a driveway exception. One is that the literal application of the zoning code would not result in practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship to the property. Second, that granting the requested exception would be material detrimental to the property owners in the vicinity. And third is that unique conditions of the subject property must exist and would render the property or the hardship as part of it. So city staff reviewed the request. We don't believe that the 3 standards are met. Plan Commission reviewed this item as well and has recommended denial of the exception as well. So I know the applicant is here as well, and I'm sure he has a few words to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, would you approach the lectern, please, and state your case?
Darren Miller, 1910 Monroe. He is right. I did upgrade my existing driveway without a permit. That's what the variances are for. I was told 3 years ago when I got a variance to widen my house at that same spot, but they won't let me upgrade an existing driveway that was dirt. It's taken me 3.5 years, my wife said, to get what I got done. And if I don't have this driveway, I don't have a driveway on this property. They are looking at, I own the property next to it. That has nothing to do with 1910 Monroe Street. I own 1900 Monroe Street, and Jared Rattle, my neighbor, and Gary Claysmith, my other neighbor north of me, helped me put this driveway in. So they have no qualms about it. And I own the house across the street, so they really don't say anything either. They're my renters. They're putting it as it's a parking pad. No, it is not. My daughter and my wife parked there. All I did was take a dirt driveway with a little bit of gravel on it and start digging with a shovel and put a very nice, wide, 6-inch concrete slab that I didn't even finish the approach yet. And the thing is, I got a permit to put a fence for my dogs around most of the other property. And it was under construction when they came and checked on my fence last year, I don't know, a year or so ago. And they didn't say anything then. It was framed, it was everything, and all of a sudden, now that I have it pretty nice, they want me to get rid of my own driveway. So, and Adam, I asked him, where am I gonna park? Well, you can park on the street anytime you want. That's my answer I get. Thank you.
Thank you. All the persons, before we can discuss it on the floor, we're going to need a motion. President Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would make a motion to vacate the decision of the Plan Commission.
To restate it in different words, you are moving to approve the exception for the driveway
Sure,
requirement?
let's put it in the positive, yes.
Okay.
Have a second, so we can at least.
Is there a
discuss.
second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Zarazua. Now, discussion. President
Yeah.
Johnson?
Thank you. So, Mr. Miller invited me over yesterday afternoon, and we had a lovely discussion about many, many things other than the driveway. And about an hour and a half later, I finally got home, so it was a very nice discussion. And I'm glad I visited, because what I learned was there isn't a curb there, because that was a historic driveway. It's just that over the years, it kind of got degraded, and then there was a kind of grassy area. So now he wants to bring it back to its driveway status, and he put the concrete pad in. And yes, it is well-built. I will hire him anytime to come and lay concrete at my house. But there is no curb there because there was a high art driveway approach historically. Mr. Miller admits not getting a permit. He admits that he was in the wrong there. And he's right, that property, this is the only driveway for that property. The property adjacent has a garage, which he also owns, and a driveway, but this was the historic driveway. So that's why I'm bringing it forward. As I looked at it, I went, this is the only driveway for the property. It's well-built. He understands it does not meet the zoning code because it does not go to a driveway or to a garage, though he's entertained the notion of possibly moving forward with that idea. So that's why I'm bringing it forward. Honestly, when he called asking me to come and visit, I thought, I'm not going to bring this forward. After I visited, I went, okay, this is kind of a unique situation where this was the driveway. He upgraded it, admitted he was in the wrong. It should have worked initially with our department and our skilled people. So that's why I'm bringing it forward. What I learned yesterday, standing at his property and spending time getting to know him. So that is the reason I made the motion. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I have a question. Is there the ability to amend the current construction as is, either by adding an apron or adding a curb or lowering the fence to meet the Clearview guidelines to make this current driveway?
I have not finished.
Well, let's let the director talk. And anybody who's going to talk needs to come up to the lectern, but wait till you're recognized, please.
There's a few issues with the driveway. Of course, first is that there is no apron leading to the driveway. As city staff sees it, it was a pad that was installed that Mr. Miller's going over the curb cut to get into the driveway. There's no concrete there. Staff, because there has been a historic driveway off of the side street, and I'm blanking on what street that is. Monroe Street. We believe that there was additional driveway opportunities for the applicant.
You mean east, Mr. Director, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, on the east side of the property. My apologies.
It's not working easy.
So you've got a few issues as it relates to setbacks. The applicant does own the property adjacent. He could go through the process of combining that alleviates some of the setback issues that we have. And then, essentially trying to make it lead to a garage would be the next opportunity here. So, there's a lot of variations when it comes to this specific request, and staff believes that because they have the opportunity to park the vehicles on the north side of the property from the side street off to the east, that there is no need for a driveway off of the main street there.
Okay, thank you.
I will state, like, I'm not the code enforcement officer on this, so I'm trying to
Okay.
regurgitate what I've been told by my staff, so.
So no easy way to make
Right,
this.
right.
Okay, awesome.
But not impossible.
Anything else, Alder Kiemer?
I guess I just want to hear from Mr. Miller why parking to the north of the house off of, is that
East.
East Avenue is not,
South of the house.
okay, on the north side of your
Oh, the
lot?
north side of the house?
Yeah.
Well, there was 2 driveways on this property at one time. One led right up to the door of the house. That is no longer there. I got a permit a long time ago to side and everything else. I've been working on this house for 17 years now on my spare time. And that driveway was not long enough to park my pickup truck on it, or the bumper would hang over the sidewalk. So right now, if you come and look, I have a curved walkway from my steps, and that's where the other driveway was, and I would have no yard at all for my grandkids and the neighbor's grandkids, because I have a 10 by 15 sandbox with a swing and everything there, and they want me to put a driveway back in there, and my truck will be right in, the bumper will be in the sidewalk. So the other one we were using also, and that has plenty of space. It was a single wide dirt driveway, and I made it a little wider because I thought, well, I can because I own that property, and the neighbor ain't gonna complain to me because I own it. I put a fence around it with a gate. It's all enclosed, the whole other yard. I got a permit for that, but I didn't get a permit for this driveway. But I got a permit to extend the whole side of the house out. And that would be okay, but I can't have my own driveway. So if I would have left it dirt and extended the house, my wife would have drove right up to our bedroom. I took and made the property look better. It appraised for more. You guys hit me on that one. It looks nice. I've been upgrading this house that is 100 and some years old, trying to keep it as much original as possible. And they want me to get rid of my existing driveway because I made it better. Common sense. You give me my fine. I paid the $200 for the variance. I paid $250 for the other variance that we decided we're getting a little old and we're not going to extend the house because it's a lot of work. And now I just finished part of the driveway. It took 3.5 years, my wife said yesterday, just to do this. And it was framed in for 2 of those years. And nobody says anything. But when I put 6 inches of concrete down and make it really nice, they take pictures. Why couldn't they have done it when they were there, giving me the okay for my fence? Adam, and I don't even know the other guy's name, he's gone now. And it does not make sense. The property looks nice. My truck don't overhang the sidewalk. And I don't own that property next to me by myself. So my brother's name's on that also. It's 1900 Monroe Street. That's where the guy burned down the house because he wanted to go back to prison. And the judge said yes. And that was a godsend. Everybody in our neighborhood said that's a godsend to our neighborhood because there was a 4-plex, shared bathroom, shared kitchen, There was a child molester in there.
Mr.
There
Miller,
was a drunk, and everything, and I made it all nice.
Got to stop you there. We got to stick to the topic at hand, which is the request for the exception.
Well, I won't have a driveway. I will park on the road. Or I have to make a makeshift garage just because I have to have something to put the front of the vehicle in? It does not make sense. I could take it out and throw dirt down there and drive on it again. That doesn't make sense either. It's to upgrade Stevens Point. You know, most people don't like living where I am because of the trains. I love it. And today I get a thing, after we talked, they put trees on my boulevard across the street without me knowing. Today I got a letter saying they're gonna put it on the other side. Well, my neighbors come over to look at the southern sky because I have nothing there.
Darren, we got to stick to the topic.
Okay, it's,
Thank you.
common sense says, I need a driveway.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice one.
Any other questions from the alderpersons? Alder Nebo.
There's a lot of things I'd like in my backyard, but they don't comply with zoning. There's a reason we have permits. There's a reason we have zoning regulations, and we can't always do what we want. That's all I'm gonna say.
Any other comments?
Can I answer that, please?
That wasn't a question.
Well, yeah, it kind of was.
No, we're good. You've had an opportunity to state your case, and we appreciate that. Director Karnowski, any final thoughts?
You know, the council's commissioned the Community Development Department to enforce the zoning code as it's written. We believe that we've enforced the code as reasonably as we can. Obviously, it's not a situation that we like to be in with property owners. We really try to work with folks as much as we can. So, you know, if you're going to grant the exception, it's probably worthwhile to dive into our zoning code and you know, possibly look at changing things. If you choose to deny the exception, then we'll just continue to enforce as we're able. So,
Thank you. Okay, we are ready to vote. If you are in favor of the motion, which is to grant the exception to the zoning code that you approved, you will vote yes. If you are opposed to granting the exception, meaning you agree with the current zoning code and you wish to deny this request, you will vote no. Is that clear? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Oro.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Yes.
Aye.
Leek.
No.
Mebone.
No.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Keimer.
No.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
No.
6 yes. 4 no.
6-4, the motion carries. The exception is approved. Item number 6 is a resolution. It's a request.
One more thing.
I need you to come up here.
Now, will I have to go get a permit now to finish it?
Contact the Community Development Department tomorrow,
Finish it.
and they will give you guidance there.
Okay, because I will put the apron and do it all up to specs, and I appreciate it, thank
Yep.
you.
Just give them a call tomorrow morning. They'll take care of it. Item number 6 is a resolution, which is a request from James Yakush for a conditional use permit to construct duplexes at 3800 Doolittle Drive.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Johnson,
I'll second.
seconded by Leek. Discussion. Hearing none. If you are in favor, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. And the clerk will call the roll.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Mebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous consent. That's approved. The next 3 items are all related. If you remember, the Plan Commission We have a request from Nick Bancic, representing Stratton Capital, to modify an adopted conceptual plan for the planned development at an unaddressed parcel off Division Street North. We will start with that one. We're going to have to take them all individually. Mr. Lobbs is here. He registered to speak on all three of them. It's up to you when you choose to speak, sir, since I know your concerns are generally related to all of those things.
Yeah, can I speak after the council discusses it?
No. So it has to be before council discusses it. You can certainly do it after a motion. Does that make sense? Council is the last body to discuss. Then we call the vote.
Say that again, please, sir.
The council is the last group to discuss it amongst themselves, and then we will call the vote. So there isn't a time frame to speak after the council discusses it. But you could do it after the motion if you chose to do that. The motion is the initial vote to approve or request to approve or disapprove. Does that make sense?
Okay, let's do that then.
Fair enough. Director Konoski, can you give us an overview once again on all three of those, and then we'll bring it for a motion.
Sure. So before you tonight are three separate actionable items. The first, item number 7, is the request to modify an adopted conceptual plan for the planned development of the unaddressed parcel on Division Street. As the council members who have been here for a few years probably recall, we had gone through some conceptual planning at the former Kmart site as part of a larger planned development district. When you adopt the conceptual plan, anytime you want to go back and amend this, and we had done the original conceptual plan in 2018, in 2019 we went through the same process. We had amended the conceptual plan because there are some changes in the building footprint. You have to go through a public hearing and then formal action by the Plan Commission and Common Council. So the first item is to essentially rehash the conceptual plan through the Planned Development District for the proposed Tommy's Express Car Wash and Cousin Subs facility located along Division Street, just west of the Reserve Student Housing Project. Number 8 is the conditional use permit just for the car wash facility. Car washes are a conditional use in the business zoning district in that area, which is B5. And so just like a standard conditional use, they've got to meet specific standards set forth in the zoning code. And number 8 is a conditional use permit to allow the car wash and the Cousin Subs facility to be located more than 5 feet from the Division Street right-of-way. So several years ago, when TIF District Number 5 was established, the City Council also established an overlay zoning district along Division Street, which required that any new structures can be permitted if they're within 0 to 5 feet from the Division Street right-of-way. If you're greater than 5 feet, it does require a conditional use permit. We've seen that a number of times, most notably with the Burger King and Taco John's project, where we've extended the setback from the Division Street right-of-way.
I believe that's item 9.
I'm sorry, yep, item number
Yep,
9.
he's talking about all of the items, yes.
So, yeah, I believe I said 8, that's my apologies, number 9.
Oh, gotcha.
And so that is a separate conditional use permit, as outlined within our zoning code, where if you want to go beyond that 5 feet from the right-of-way, you need the conditional use. So,
all related, 3 separate items.
correct.
Okay. Thank you, Director. The first one is going to be that resolution to modify the adopted conceptual plan for planned development of the unaddressed parcel. Need a motion? I believe that was Alder Slawinski. Was that a motion, sir?
Correct.
Okay, your vocals are really weak. The audio is really weak on this end. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Morrow. Now, discussion. Mr. Lobbs, I understand that your primary concern was retaining some sort of vehicle access on the north side of your building. That has not changed. That is still in the plan that they're about to consider right now. Is there anything else you wish to speak on in that regards?
That's it. It's probably kind of redundant, I don't know, but
Okay.
I just want to make sure that that doesn't get changed.
That is the plan that's being presented now that retains drivable access, even though it's still private property. It retains that drivable access on the north side of your building, but again, it's on private property.
Right. And
Sir, I'm going to ask you to come up to the microphone, please. Yeah, it's the same that you and I talked about, Jim.
Okay, essentially, as he mentioned, it is in the plan, and it makes a lot of sense because if the driveway weren't just to the north of my property, as far as if there were a fire or something or access, that kind of thing, and also it enables me to have another area to get out of my property when they're exiting, because right now there's a driveway on the north side, but this then is on the south side. So if they drive in on the north park and they want to get out drive in on the south and then go ahead and want to get out on the north, they can do that and go on Division Street and head north, etc.
Right.
Like I say, it's probably redundant, really. I just want to make darn sure about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So again, that is in the plan that they are considering right now.
Okay. Well, I think I've said what I should say, I guess. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you kindly.
Discussion? Alder Shore.
Thanks. I mean, we had some discussion of this at Plan Commission. The stretch of North Division has been a focus of the council, and so this wasn't what we had in mind, generally speaking. But I think the biggest problem does have to do with the increased setback, and so when we get to that item, I'll offer a motion.
Okay, thank you. So we are only looking at item number 7 right now, which is the request to modify the adopted conceptual plan. If you're in favor, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no. And Clerk Yenter will call the roll.
Morrow.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Okay, that is approved. Item number 8 is the resolution from the same requester to opt for a conditional use permit to operate a car wash at the unaddressed parcel off Division Street North. Need a motion?
So
Moved by Morrow. Is there a second? Seconded by Kneebone. Discussion.
I have something, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I talked with the owner last week, and we were able to get an understanding. I understand more what was going on, and he was very helpful with that. And this is in my area. I don't have any concerns.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Hearing none. If you're in favor, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no. And the clerk will call the roll.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
Thank you. That's approved. Item number 9 is a resolution that is the same request. This one is for a conditional use permit to construct 2 principal structures using conditional street setbacks requirements for the tax incremental district number 5 on the unaddressed parcel off of Division Street North. Alder Shore.
I move denial of the conditional use permit for the restaurant and car wash to have an increased setback.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Johnson. Discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. As I said a moment ago, this whole area has been a focus for a lot of us, seen as really important and a priority. Not only did this council provide the incentive for the original, for the whole project back when the retail, the commercial and the residential were together, but we stuck with it through the loss of the original developer. We're flexible provided a lot of incentive. We're flexible on the incentive. When that happened with the original developer, then hung tight through COVID. Similar to what we did with Northside Yard. We faced this issue with Burger King, Taco John's, Caribou Coffee, and we talked about how, well, that's further up, it's closer to the roundabout, it's closer to Century, and it's not likely to be, foot traffic anytime soon. But, I don't know, meanwhile, there's some significant commercial developments, including the residence right there, campus next door. So we are obliged to follow what the zoning allows, and the votes we just took did that. But there's nothing that says that we have to go along with that, extra 20-foot of setback for parking. And so I think that the condition of this project should be that it be brought forward closer to the street and the sidewalk. Thanks.
Thank you. Alder Kiemer.
Yeah, I believe during Plan Commission, Director Karnowski mentioned that it would be possible to move forward with this development with a smaller setback, and that was an option the Plan Commission could provide guidance or support for. So I guess I just want to clarify his thoughts.
Sure. Director, have you talked to the developer?
No, I have not been able to get a hold of them. That was a topic, and when the developer first came to the department and proposed this idea, we did work with them to try to get the building as close to the Division Street right-of-way as possible. My own planning view, I think it's doable, especially for the car wash. I think the cousin subs becomes a little bit more problematic, but there is merit in more or less a compromise here, where you have a use that maybe the council's not necessarily thrilled about, neither is staff, but is permitted within our zoning code. But the opposite of that is, let's work together to achieve the site plan objectives of the targeted area master plan, which does call for buildings closer to the Division Street corridor to start essentially framing in the corridor. So as you come south, if you're coming south on Division Street, as you get to Maria Drive, the whole concept is you're going to have a more framed-in corridor. You're not going to have these vast parking lots in the next 100 years, that you push everything closer to the road.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Alder Morrow.
Is the developer here?
Negative.
Okay.
And you did try and reach out to them this afternoon after we spoke. Okay. You certainly could postpone action on it if you chose to and ask the developer to be here. However, I don't know that that's even necessary, because it is ultimately your decision. Your choice. Any other comments? Alder Shore? Oh, well, hang on. Any other comments from anyone who hasn't spoken yet? Then we're good. Alder Shore.
Maybe just to, thank you, Mayor, maybe just to state the obvious, what would happen is that the parking would be flipped around to the back. I mean, it basically just, the structures would be pulled to where our zoning says they should be, with the 5-foot setback instead of the 25.
Thank you. Mr. Lobbs, I'm going to need you to come up to the lectern, though. And Jim, just so you know, we're only talking about the setback here right now.
Right. I'm just wondering now how that will affect the flow of traffic and everything. In other words, you want to move his stuff closer to the road, is that correct?
The building's closer to the road, yes.
Yeah, right. And so, in one way, if it's back a little bit as they request, they're going to be able to come in that drive and head right to their property. The other way, there's going to be a lot more traffic on that easement road between myself and the next person. I'm not sure how that could get a little congested, I think.
And that's a point well taken, because yes, that would divert the traffic right in front of your Hawaiian Studios.
Yeah.
Before they could take a left and get to either the
Right on.
place or the car wash
Right
place.
on. And then also, isn't McDonald's, which is the next place down, that's set back too?
It is.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure we don't have a big congestion right on the north side of my building, because otherwise they can come in, they can go that way, and there's not going to be any congestion there.
Understood.
I
Thank
think
you,
it
sir.
makes, I don't know, I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm just, very sensitive about this because my property there obviously is very important to me. And I developed that thing back in the 70s, and I think it's been an asset to the north side there. We've had good tenants in there. And if I had anything to say about it, I would allow the setback as it is for the reasons I've given.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And we appreciate that too. You and I talked about when you built that building. All right, so any other comments? Okay. The motion is to deny the request for the additional setback. If you're in favor of denial, you will vote yes. If you are opposed to denial, you will vote no. The clerk enter can call the roll.
Morrow.
No.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Yes.
Leek.
Aye.
Kneebone.
No.
Slowinski.
No.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
No.
Keimer.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
4-6, 6-4.
6-4.
6-4, the motion to deny is approved. Item number 10 is a resolution, a request from Brooke Klesmith, representing St. Michael's Hospital of Stevens Point for a sign variance to install a wall sign exceeding the size requirements at 900 Illinois Avenue. Alder Keimer.
Motion to approve the resolution from Brooke Klesmith representing St. Michael's Hospital.
Thank you. We'll give the second to Alder Shore. Discussion. Hearing none, if you're in favor, vote yes. Opposed, no, and the clerk will call the roll.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
That is adopted. Item number 11 is an ordinance amendment to accept changes to section 9.06 as it relates to stop signs.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Motion by Johnson, seconded by
Second.
Morrow. Discussion?
Already talked about this in meetings and meetings and meetings.
Clerk Enter, please call the roll.
Morrow.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
And that is approved. Item number 12 is to award the EM Cops Drive Extension Phase 2, Project 21-13, to advance construction out of Green Bay in an amount not to exceed $755,559.71.
So
Motion
moved.
by Kneebone, seconded by Zarazua. Discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keimer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
And that is approved. Item number 13 is a resolution allowing open intoxicants downtown at a specified area during the specified days. We brought this forward for a few weeks, then no issues. We brought it forward for a few more months. That had no issues. We did it for a whole season this year. That is set to expire October 31st. So thanks to Alderperson Zarazua for the reminder that it does expire at the end of the month. There's been a request to extend it and make that change permanent until we have reason to change it back. This allows open intoxicants during certain hours, noon to 9 p.m., every day of the week in a defined downtown area. Need a motion? Moved by Zarazua, seconded by Johnson. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, clerk please.
Actually,
Sorry.
Mary, you said noon to 9, it's 4 to 9.
The 4-9, I thought it was
Say
noon.
noon?
Supposed to
You
be
did
noon.
say
It says,
You did say noon.
No, I think it is. I think it is noon.
this exception shall apply
It
from
does say
4
4
PM
in our
until
packet.
9 PM?
Logan, you review
Am I
that.
looking at the wrong,
Hang on.
That's what I see too.
it's on
We'll get
page
there.
52?
Resolution.
catch. No, it's been noon.
Pursuant to the language, it's number
So
one.
let me do this, because it has been noon. I'm not sure, I didn't catch that, I apologize. Thank you for catching it. Alder Zarazua,
I mean, I don't care.
if you wish to change that from 4 to noon, now would be the time.
No pressure. No. Yes, I would like to,
Well, the idea was to do it over the lunch hour.
yes.
And
absolutely.
that's what it was. I'm not sure how it got changed. Maybe we had a different draft or something. I apologize for the misinformation. But the request was for noon, so if that's your wish, I would ask that you modify it from noon to 9 p.m. On all days.
Do I need to amend it, or is it?
Yes, I think we should probably just state it for the record that you will amend the resolution from noon to 9 p.m. And because that was the way it was, I think we'll just move to approve the resolution as amended and take that as a friendly amendment, because I
Yes.
fully believe that that's what it's supposed to be.
I agree.
Who seconded that?
I did.
You
I'll
did.
accept the
Okay,
friendly.
perfect. So now, the motion before you is to make the approval of the resolution as amended, again, every day of the week from noon to 9 p.m., and the boundaries are defined in your packet. If you're in favor, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no, and the clerk will call the roll.
Morrow.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Keemer.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
And that is approved. Thank you for that catch, Alder Kneebone. Because that would have just created more confusion.
Yes.
All right, item number 14 is an ordinance amendment repealing Chapter 18 of the Plumbing Code and Chapter 19, the Electrical Code. I think Director Karnowski might be in the other room, but do we have someone who wishes to give us an overview? Dun, 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 dun.
So repealing 2 entire chapters of the Code of Ordinances may seem like a big deal, but I assure you, it is not. All this stuff went into Chapter 30. DJ got in touch with me maybe just a week ago and said, yeah, we actually don't need these anymore. And in fact, if anything, they could create a problem because people could start to say, well, there's similar subject matter in both of them, but you've got discrepancies between them. So obviously the natural thing is to remove them, and then it also frees up 2 free chapters that if we need to create a new chapter for something in the future, we can use one of these.
Okay, need a motion? Moved by Shore,
Second.
second by Morrow. Discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Keemer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
And that's approved. Item number 15 was the creation of automatic district boundaries within the city as it related to redistricting due to census numbers. The county has informed us today that they need a little bit more time. There were a few things that didn't quite jive, so we are going to pull and postpone action on that. We may consider that, I think, at the November 1st meeting.
Okay.
So item number 16 is the approval of the 2022 capital budget and capital improvement plans for 2023 through 2026. Alder Shore moves, seconded by Johnson. Discussion?
We've talked about this at great length.
Someone would say ad nauseum.
So-
But no, this was a great year for the capital budget. I think it worked out very well, so.
Let the public know that this isn't just this has been talked about at length.
We started the process in June, I believe.
So,
Thank you all very much. If you are in favor, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no, and I'll have the clerk call that roll.
Morrow.
Aye.
Fischler's excused. Dalton.
Dalton.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Kneebone.
Aye.
Slowinski.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Keemer.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
That is approved. Item number 17 is to enter into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 sub 1 sub E and 19.85 sub 1 sub G for deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing public funds, et cetera, et cetera. And this one is specifically for a development agreement in tax incremental district 10. I need a motion to go into closed session, moved by Johnson, seconded by Zarazua. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Christensen.
Aye.
Shore.
Aye.
Seamer.
Aye.
Zarazua.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Slawinski.
Aye.
Nebone.
Aye.
Leek.
Aye.
Dalton.
No.
Fischler's excused. Morrow.
Aye.
Okay, we are going to go into closed session. I should note that even though the agenda says we will reconvene for possible action, we will not be reconvening tonight. There will be no return into open session, and we will adjourn in closed session. So I would ask everybody, Brian, I need you to stay.
Go have an evening.
And everybody else needs to clear the room, please.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.